Welcome to This Week in Rec. Seating meeting
Can I
edition.
do it?
Yeah, I thought I was Reed.
No, I'm Reed.
Okay, that's fine. I get to be an asshole then. That's awesome. I mean, Izzy, sorry. Go ahead.
Welcome to This Week in Rec. This is the seating meeting edition. I'm your host, as always, Reed Nelson. With me today is my co-host, the ever great-looking Izzy Alcapas. Izzy Alcapas, how you doing today?
Feeling a little pale.
See what I did there with the mic?
Yeah, Reed. The actual Reed has never done that before.
Yeah, I've learned my lesson. All right, so we didn't do much prep, so bear with us here. Let's just go right into it. Talk about highlight the system once again, so when people see these brackets, they're not confused on how it was set up.
Top 4 seeds, the GM of that team gets to rank the teams. So it's not 7 random people, 9 random people thrown together in a point system. And how we do it is a draft. So they submit their rankings, and we fill out the bracket based on the worst team available on their bracket. So if we start with the Shockers, they're the bottom. They get the 23 seed, and then it's UDK or Uncle Drew's kids. They get 22nd, so on and so forth, until we get up to the 5 seed.
Okay.
And so it's a way to stop the scheming that was done a couple seasons ago on the original Kevin Mayer system, where if someone had 2 teams. I think it was called the Screw Junius bracket is what we had a couple seasons ago. So this way, they still have a strong say in who's on their side based on who they rank, but they can't. No collusion.
Yep. So last season we didn't have a problem with crossovers. I think there might have been one. This season, and this is kind of why we did the system. Based on the auto rankings, are there any crossovers this time around?
No, nothing. Maybe Elite 8 at the earliest, but other than that, like playing games tomorrow, everyone will be able to play on their own team. I think Sweet 16 is the same thing.
Okay. And do you think the general public would prefer teams based on merit of, record, or do you think they'd prefer not having crossover players? Like, do you think they want it to be earned over the season, or would they prefer this way where there actually aren't any crossover games?
I think they want the best of both worlds, to be honest with you. But I think if they could choose, they would. If anyone who plays 2 teams would want them on opposite sides of the bracket. Okay. But then you have the legendary teams who just think their mystique and name alone should be able to get them whatever seed they want because, hey, we won the Gold Cup, and this guy's really good, and he's still on our roster even though my season was terrible. So,
fair enough.
And we have one of those.
We do have one of those. Yeah. So we're going to have playing games tomorrow in Fridley. Starting at 6:30.
Yes.
2 games at 6:30.
One game at 6:30.
Excuse me, 1 game at 6:30, 2 at 7:30,
2 at 8:30.
2 at 8:30.
2 at 9:30. So we'll have 7 games tomorrow.
Okay, awesome. So the first game, which is going to be at 6:30, is Miller Time Monstars, and they're going to be in Fob 5's bracket.
Yes. We will have the bracket up on the website here still tonight. I'm sure as the video is going, eventually the seeds will be scrolling on the bottom through the magic of Reed Nelson technology.
Zach Neubauer.
Zach, you're going to do it?
Cutting it tonight.
Nice.
Okay. Stop adding stuff for me to do.
Okay.
All right. So Miller Time Monstars, I mean, this is pretty cut and dry. However, this is Bloomington going up to Fridley.
Right. And they requested an early game. So we got a 6:30 Miller Time Monstars game. Miller Time beat the Rebels tonight. Super feisty. Monstars, I don't know if they like playing with one particular player on their team, but they try hard, and Ryan Kelly's got some firepower. Yep. So it should at least be close for a half, but I'd expect Miller Time to take it down.
Did you watch the Miller Time Rebels game tonight? Did Miller Time outplay the Rebels, or are the Rebels just not giving the effort that they have in the past?
I don't want to discredit what Miller Time did, but they're the team that wanted to play. They showed up, and Tom Anderson was like a bull in a china shop tonight, and everyone on their team gave 110%. This was their championship game, it seemed like. The Rebels treated this like it was first half especially, like this is just another game, who cares? They scored 17 points. But they were really trying in the second half. They're not in it yet this season.
Absolutely. Do we have footage of the last possession of that game? So we'll be able to cut that in. Let's take us through that possession then. Take us through the last two possessions. Maybe we can kind of overlay this with.
Sure. We had Ryan Jansen getting fouled, hits 1 of 2. Okay.
What's the score at that point?
Rebels were up 3 after the free throw.
Okay.
So Miller Time comes down. They actually turn the ball over, and then Carson Cody Hines apparently stepped out of bounds. So there's about 17 seconds left at that point.
Okay.
Miller Time's inbounding the ball. They get it to a guy. Great drive. Frees Omer Helmy. And it's Omer, by the way. Everyone on this team calls him Omar. It's Omer.
It actually is pronounced Omar, but it's spelled Omer.
He allows me to call him Omer. So please, everyone, just call him Omer.
Fair.
Okay? It's not Omar.
Omer Helmy.
He's not the guy on the wire. It's not Omar.
Omer Helmy.
Omer.
He's not Omar.
Right.
Yep.
Another guy. But Helmy gets a nice clutch shot there to pull within 1. Inbound the ball, they foul Ryan Samuelson. So 1-1, okay. Rebels up 1, like probably 10 seconds left at that point. Misses the front end. Juma gets the rebound, races up the court. No one stops him on the Rebels, hits a nice little leaner bank shot.
I knew that they had bonus. So regardless of what I was going to do, I was going to attack. That was my decision. I made my decision on the half court that I'm going to attack. So as soon as I got here, I think I saw Dustin reach in. So I just took it up, and I went up. Honestly, I was hoping he went in. Things worked on my end. God was with me, and he went in.
Okay, so that good. I mean, good for them. The Rebels 3-5 this season.
Poor substitutions. Who's the best? One of the best defenders in the league. Who's the guy you don't want to drive the lane on? Paul Ferber.
Joe Apple.
Yeah. Okay. You and I disagree on that one. And Ferber's sitting his butt on the bench. When you're up and you're milking, you're nursing a lead, put the best defensive big man in the league on the court. Yep. They did it to themselves tonight.
Yeah, but they still avoided the playing games.
Ridiculous.
And that's what this system. That's the negative with this system is, the Rebels can go 3-5 and still avoid the playing games because the other 4 teams don't want to play them.
Right.
So there's pros and cons to this system. Right. No crossover games, but then the Rebels are able to avoid the vaunted playing games. But who wants to play the Rebels in the playing games anyways?
Right.
So,
or in general.
What's that?
Or in general.
Or in general.
Anyone who has an issue with this system, please give Kevin Mayer an email. I believe it's kevinmayer6428@gmail.com. This is his system, so any complaints, just feel free to lob them in his direction.
Love that. So you have Miller Time, right? We're good there.
Yep.
Court, we'll just go. We won't do court 1, court 2 because that was subject to change. Red Devils, Scorpions. We
love you, Scorpions. We hope you keep coming back, but you're not going to get your first win tomorrow night.
Yes. Okay, so Red Devils there. Cudas versus Sonics. Okay, excuse me. Red Devils and Scorpions. So if the Red Devils will likely win, they then face the Rebels.
Correct. A rematch from a game earlier this season in which I believe the Red Devils won.
I believe you're right.
So
the Rebels didn't win many games, so it's likely. So that is actually the Shockers bracket. So Red Devils, Rebels, likely.
Correct.
Kudos, Sonics. This one's a little. It isn't as clear. I mean, Sonics look good at the start of the season. They lose to bad teams and beat the good teams.
Kudos maybe their best season, 4-4. This is a 7:30 game, by the way.
It's 7:30 game. Who do you have in this game?
I'm gonna give it to the Supersonics just based on. I don't think the Kudas have the defense to slow them down. Kleinsasser and Hoyle. I don't think there's 2 guys who can stop them on that team.
No, and they work their asses off, and the Kudas are a little bit more finesse, and Scorpions do have some grit. So that's actually the winner of that game will then play Fob 5 next Wednesday.
Correct.
So that's their bracket. Other 8:30 game, UANO and the Crusaders.
This is the big shocker. UANO did not get any respect by the top 4 GMs. So they got thrown into the play-in games, and they do have a fair argument to say we were anywhere from 6 to 9. And
they landed 10th, right?
No, they landed 12th.
Landed 12. Oh, so Uncle Drew's kid. So you can blame Kevin Chase. Right. He selected them
to put him in his bracket.
Right. Which is, That's bulletin board material.
There is a little bit of bulletin board material because that's essentially there are 11 other teams that he didn't want to play.
Yep. Okay. So UNO should likely win that game. Crusaders just a very diluted version of what they were.
Right. That's an 8:30 game again in Fridley. Crusaders in Fridley.
Okay. So the winner of that game plays the Blazers.
Correct.
Next Wednesday.
Right. Blazers ended up with a 5 seed.
So now we get to the other 8:30 game, which is Blue Chips v Green Arrow, and this is the Shockers next round matchup. So this is the winner of this game plays the Shockers. Who do you have in this game?
Well, I mean, I got to be selfish and go the Blue Chips. I don't think a lick of defense will be played in this game by any of the 15 participants, but I think the Blue Chips have just the Green Arrow has 3 weapons. Rose Bear, Herzog, and Maher.
Yep.
And I think the Blue Chips have more weapons, so since no one plays defense, more weapons will win.
And I will give a shout out. Eric Maher plays fantastic defense for Green Arrow.
Okay, so
works his ass off.
1 of 7.
And Herzog actually plays really hard. I mean, I wouldn't say it's lockdown defense, but he gives good effort. There's actually a few guys on that team that actually try hard on defense. So
I've never seen them play.
Yeah, so they may not be the most skilled team, but they definitely work hard. I'll give them that. So they would play the Shockers on Wednesday. Now we get to the 9:30 games. This is actually probably the game of the night. Magic Johnsons v. the Footballers. Now here's the issue. The Footballers have to trek on a Thursday up to Fridley. They showed up with 4 tonight for the first half. Right. Guerrillas Footballers played 4-on-4 until their 5th guy showed up with maybe 5 minutes to go in the first half. Do you think the Footballers show up first?
I think it's a late game, so that gives them a chance, but I don't know if they get more than 5.
Okay.
And at 5 guys, they almost beat the Red Devils last week.
Yep.
And I didn't get to watch the Guerrillas game. I'm assuming it wasn't as close.
No, it was just they went zone, and they never went out of the zone. I think the Guerrillas shot like 65% from deep.
Right. Hughes is a good big guy. Sherrills is really coming along as a basketball player, and they got a couple shooters, but they need a few of the athletes to show up. Blanton had such a good season, especially on the O boards. Asiata seems to be a guy who at least controls them a little bit, slows them down, and then the zone defense is much better when you have athletes than other guys. So if those guys don't show up, I don't know what chance they have.
Absolutely. I believe it's Tyler Pineda.
I spelled like pinata to me.
I think it's Pineda. I'm not sure. I'm not Hawaiian or Samoan or Pacific Island, whatever he is. He scored 42 points tonight.
He's a shooter.
He's more than a shooter.
Yeah.
He was attacking the hoop. He was finishing with contact. His flowing locks. Every time he had his floater, his locks would flow.
Yeah.
He has the headband. He looks the part.
Yeah, he had a good game last week too against the Red Devils. They just 5 guys that ran out of gas.
Do you think that after his basketball career at UH, do you think he has a career in modeling with the hair flowing like that?
I mean, at least like Herbal Essences kind of commercial. I don't know. I mean, I haven't seen him with a shirt off, so I don't know if he could do like the full bit.
Do you think I could see him on an Abercrombie and Fitch bag? What do you think?
Like playing football in khakis kind of thing?
Kind of, yeah. Khakis, no shirt.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good. We're on the same page there. So you have who?
I'd pick the Magic Johnsons. I mean, I hate the team name because you guys just disgrace the best point guard in history every time you play. It's
with a dick joke. It is horrible. So Magic Johnsons, the winner of that game plays the Guerrillas. So Helmy actually picked the bracket for the Guerrillas, and I wouldn't have picked either team that he selected.
Right.
So be nice, guys. Don't. This is not bulletin board. Helmy's just an idiot.
Right.
Last game, Muskies, 12 o'clock boys.
Yeah. Thanks for playing. Muskies just play too hard.
If they show up.
Right, if they show up. Good thing about them, Casey, John, Sonny, they all play.
Is John back?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know if he is.
I haven't seen his flowing locks in a while, so.
I think he's in the Caribbean somewhere doing some vacation deal. I have no idea. I just made that up. But he's not. He's not in town.
I know they only had 4 tonight.
And Glenn was supposed to show up tonight, and he did not.
And was Fusco here tonight?
Fusco is not here.
Okay.
So if they bring 5 guys, they'll win. If they bring 4 guys, they'll Maybe.
Right.
Yeah. So
they can shoot. That's the thing. And McCray and Sonny can both go off. So I think 12 o'clock boys. I like Pat Evans. He is a steam engine just rolling down the tracks. Get out of his way. But
he's probably one of the last guys I would want to see in a dark alley.
right.
If we're doing a draft based on dark alley participants,
They're
he
the
would
five
probably they're the 5 seed.
Correct.
Yeah. So don't mess with that guy. But the winner of that game plays UDK
Yeah.
next Wednesday. UDK actually had a very interesting, some interesting selections there. They really got a tough bracket.
I think Kevin was just surprised they were a top 4 seed and he wasn't prepared because I wouldn't have chosen UANO. They're going to get stuck with the Blazers with how they were.
Probably, yeah.
That's just what's going to happen. But Muskie's UANO, I probably would have gone another direction.
Absolutely. So now that we have everything set, who are your final 4 teams?
I will stick with the top 4 seeds.
Really? So you're going chalk.
I'm going chalk.
Okay.
I think Uncle Drew's kids are just a little bit better than the Blazers, and that's the only game I could see flipping. I don't see the Bulls or Squires beating the Guerrillas. I don't see the Rebels or Red Devils beating the Shockers, just because of how I watched them play tonight and then last week. And I don't see the Free Ballers or Miller Time taking down Fob. So I'll have to go chalk. How about yourself?
I am really, really excited to watch UDK Blazers. If that happens, that's going to be an awesome game. Here's the thing. Both the Rebels and the Guerrillas will be missing 2 guys, or 1 guy. Dustin DuPont next Wednesday. So if they play the Red Devils, no
Rebels
Dustin.
and Fob, you mean? Rebels and Fob.
Well, yeah, and then Bryant is gone for the Guerrillas as well.
Okay.
Yeah, so Fob is going to be missing Dustin and Byrne for their first round matchup.
Nice.
Does that change your mind?
That turns that Sonics game pretty tough, doesn't it?
It does. And then the Rebels, Red Devils, without Dustin, do the Red Devils win that game?
Yes. As long as they've got 8 guys. I think Jordan was sick tonight.
Okay.
So I mean, Scott had like 12 points tonight. They were running Iron 5. But if they get a full squad, they're going to beat the Rebels.
Okay.
Without Dustin.
Which makes the path for the Shockers even easier. So, the Guerrillas, do you feel that if they play the Magic Johnsons or footballers, are they a threat to lose without Bryant next Wednesday?
No.
Okay. So,
Bryant went 3 for 11 tonight, right?
He did.
Footballers just starting his
he's got a hammy issue, and I think he's thinking about it on his jump shot. So, we're good there. So, once again, games tomorrow in Fridley. Winners will then play Wednesday night in Bloomington next week.
They're going for like a selfie convention, right?
They're going to Cancun for a self-off is what they call it.
So Travi Baby will be there too.
Travi Baby, I think, is buying his own ticket.
Okay.
Dustin and Bryant each won a paid vacation there.
So many shirtless photos on Twitter and Facebook, and you automatically qualified, right?
Correct. So they'll likely be, but there's no STD testing at UH. So
luckily.
So make sure that if you do play against Bryant and Dustin, try not to get body to body. They're going to be down in Cancun spring break, unprotected.
We've
most
talked to
likely
Reed about hazmat suits. We will not get them in time.
Correct. That's unfortunate. Thank you, Jason.
Thank you.
We'll see you guys tomorrow. Or thank you, Izzy. We'll see you guys tomorrow.